before we get started. All righty, here we go. It is 9:01. We are going to go ahead and get started. My name is Elizabeth LeConey. Tonight is our product overview call, and I am happy to be your host tonight. What we're going to do tonight, hopefully, is to focus on a few things regarding the products only tonight. This is not a business call. We're going to focus completely about the products. We're going to talk a little bit about what is Isagenix. We're going to talk about why we need it, how nutritional cleansing works. And then at the end, I am privileged to hand over the line to a dear friend of mine who has done Isagenix for a year now to share her story and her testimony with you. So before I get started into all of that detail, I would love to be able to tell you a little bit about myself so that you know how I've come into this and how my journey has unfolded, and it's still unfolding. So again, my name is Elizabeth LeConey. I have been using Isagenix products for just at 2 years. When I was introduced to Isagenix, I had no idea what nutritional cleansing was. I had never heard of Isagenix. I was somebody who needed to lose weight, not a ton of weight, but I needed to lose weight. I had 2 young boys. I still clung on to pregnancy weight. And I had done every diet out there, and nothing seemed to be working for me. If a diet was working for me, it would help me to lose weight, but I would feel deprived. I would feel tired. I would feel crabby. And typically the weight would come right back on. And so that's what happens to a lot of people when they just choose to diet. So when I was introduced to Isagenix, it was very different for me. It was something that I had never heard of. So I thought, what the heck? I'm going to give it a try. It can't be any worse than what I've just done with dieting for the last decade. So I came in with the goal of losing 10 pounds in 30 days. And I was planning to be done after a month. I had a beach vacation coming up, and I really, really, really wanted to look good in a bathing suit. I wanted to feel self-confident. So I came in and I enrolled with my enrolling sponsor, Delilah Loddick, and I trusted her. And I said, Delilah, I trust you that this will work. And I love the fact that if it doesn't, I have 30 days to get my money back. So I said, I'm going all in. Well, within just a couple of days, everything really changed for me. Not only did I lose 10 pounds, I would say I released 10 pounds. I didn't lose it, never came back. In 30 days, I did. I lost 10 pounds and 17 inches across my body. That was my goal. I met my goal. I was so excited about it because I'd never experienced that weight loss with any other diet that I had done. But it got better because there were so many things that I got out of this that I never intended to. So for 10 years, I struggled with GI issues. It was something that ruled my life. I never exactly knew what I could eat. I would have all kinds of side effects that were not pleasant. No doctor could figure out what was wrong with me. I would eliminate certain food groups, and it still wasn't resolved. And so I had accepted that that was part of my life. But I just didn't know what I could eat and how I would respond to it in any atmosphere. Within about a week, all of the issues that I was dealing with my GI issues, were pretty much resolved. And that was a game changer for me, because to go from being that uncomfortable to being in balance, it was a game changer for me. In addition to that, and in addition to the weight loss, I had always been exhausted. I would work my 9-to-5 job. I would come home in my early 30s and sit on the couch and watch my boys run around me. I had no energy, let alone definitely not get into the gym. Within a couple of days of getting my body into balance, my energy spiked. It went through the roof. All of a sudden, I was doing all kinds of things around the house, cleaning, mopping, sweeping. My husband was ecstatic. I was getting to boot camp. I was doing things that I never had the energy for before. My mental clarity improved. I was sleeping better at night. All these things that I didn't know were going to come with nutritional cleansing. So at the end of the 30 days, there was no stopping. I could not just say no to that lifestyle, to that change that was happening to me, and go back to the way I was feeling before. So I went on and continued, and now I'm 2 years in. I did go on to lose a total of 25 pounds, 3 pant sizes. I didn't even think my body was capable of losing that weight. But I will tell you, I feel so much better in my own skin. I'm more confident, and I'm most importantly not deprived, which is how I felt with dieting. So with that said, that's really my story. What I want to do for the next 15 minutes is talk to you a little bit about isogenics, what it is, what it isn't. So what is isogenics? Let's first start talking about what it's not, because a lot of times people come in and they think it's something and it's really not that. A lot of times people do think that isogenics is a diet, because many of us come to nutritional cleansing and come to isogenics for the solution of weight loss. And so in our mindset, most of us have done some kind of diet before. And so we want to treat isogenics the same way. We want to treat it like a diet, but it's actually not. And we'll touch on that in a few minutes. Another thing that people typically perceive about isogenics, when they hear the word cleanse, they get a little nervous. And that's understandable. But I'm here to tell you this is not the scary cleanse. This is not a colon cleanse. It's not even an organ-specific cleanse. We're talking about cleansing your body on a cellular level. And again, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. What is Isogenics? Isogenics is the solution-based company. So we offer solutions in 4 areas. We offer solutions for weight loss, for energy and performance, for anti-aging and skincare, and lastly, for wealth creation. This evening, we're really going to touch on the majority of the first 3. We are not going to talk about wealth creation this evening. If that interests you, if the money interests you, the income, then we invite you to get on the call tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, which is our business overview call, and you can learn about that there. So before I go into how the products work, we need to really talk about why we need the products, why we need Isogenics. So Isogenics is a full-body cellular nutritional cleanse, and it focuses on 2 main issues, the issue of toxicity and deficiency. So let's take a quick look at what's going on in our society, in our world today, specifically the U.S., that's causing these issues that we need to solve. If you look at the health in our country, it's no surprise that it's going, unfortunately, the wrong way in terms of stats. So a few stats for you. 1 in 2.2 will develop cancer in this day and age. In the 1950s, it was 1 in 12. So that number, unfortunately, is going up. 1.3 million women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. That's a 30% increase in the last 25 years. 2/3 of Americans are overweight, and 1 out of 3 children are overweight. So these statistics aren't fun, guys. These aren't statistics that you want to hear, but it's the reality. 95% of Americans are acidic. When I say acidic, I mean toxic. So we're talking about people walking around chronically exhausted and tired and holding on to extra fat because their body's pH is in an acidic state. Think about in middle school when you studied, the pH scale. Your body is, most people's body, we're walking around in an acidic state. It can't work the right way there. We need to get it more into a neutral and an alkaline state. So what's causing this? Well, again, we're talking about 2 issues here. We're talking about toxicity and deficiency. So really quickly, we're living in a toxic world. If you think about the air that we're breathing, the food that we're consuming, the house products that we're using, the makeup, the lotions, the potions, all that stuff, it's all toxic. A lot of it is toxic. We can't avoid those things. It just is. So our bodies end up getting overwhelmed, and it can't function the way that it's designed. So when our bodies are overloaded with toxins and we're toxic and we're acidic, again, it's not operating the way that it was designed to. In terms of deficiency, our food source is not the way that it used to be. We're lacking the right nutrition. We're lacking the right minerals to feed our body properly. We're looking at foods that are now genetically modified. That's not the right food that we need to put in our body, and it's just loading more toxins in our body, and it's overloading. If you think about some of the foods that we're eating today, there's artificial ingredients. Even organic food has a legal level of pesticides and toxins in it. And so a lot of times people come to me and say, I get it. I get the pesticides. I get the toxicity. I don't want that. I eat clean because I eat organic. And that is a great step in the right direction. If you're going to choose between conventional and organic is a better choice. But many times people don't understand that organic does still have a legal level of toxicity. So you can get better than that. I want to quickly talk about the difference between dieting and nutritional cleansing, because that was the big eye-opener for me and for many people who are looking at the solution for weight loss. So diets restrict things. Think about it. You're restricting calories. You're restricting food groups. You're usually restricting something in a diet. Nutritional cleansing, on the other hand, is flooding your body with minerals and nutrition. It's not restricting, it's actually flooding your body. Diets also tend to encourage more toxicity in the body. Now think about it. A lot of times, let's say for instance, sugar-free. A lot of times people think, well, sugar's bad, so sugar-free must be good. So they'll go get popsicles or Jell-O or pudding or whatever the case is that says sugar-free, because they think because it's lower calories that it's better for your body. But guys, if it's not sugar, what is it? It's aspartame, Splenda, those types of things. That's a toxin. It's a neurotoxin. It's something that your body does not need, and it's not good for your body. So a lot of times, smart ones and processed foods, the quick, convenient diet foods, is just loading more into your body. And it's not really getting to the root of the issue here. When you're dieting, what you're doing is you might be losing weight on the outside because you're restricting calories or food groups, but you're just contributing to the inside picture of toxicity. So what ends up happening is that your body senses the increase of toxicity, and your body goes into emergency fat production, and you end up rebounding at the end. On the other hand, when you are nutritionally cleansing, you're flooding your body, you're cleansing your body, which is taking care of the toxins. And what happens is you shed the weight, you build lean muscle, and you're not going to rebound at the end because you've taken care of the internal issue that's going on here. So really, as a result, we're not really getting to the root of the problem when we're dieting. So let's talk quickly about how nutritional cleansing works. It's really simple, and I like simple. So this works well for me and for a lot of people. We have shake days and we have cleanse days. I want to talk quickly about 3 key products. There are so many products in this line, but I want to talk about 3 key products this evening. The first one is our isolane shakes. So typically, depending on your goals, we'll talk about the first 30 days right now. If your goal is weight loss or just overall health, we replace 1 to 2 meals a day with these meal replacement shakes. It's 240 calories. It is a complete meal replacement. It is perfectly balanced with fiber, sugar, carbs, everything that you need in a perfect meal. It is undenatured whey that comes from New Zealand cows, where they do not inject their cows with hormones. They are milked in season. So this is clean. It's extremely clean. 99.9 lactose free for easier digestion. So I tell people, if you have a lactose issue, usually you do very well in these shakes. If you do have a dairy allergy, we have a plant-based shake that you can use as an alternative. These shakes, as I mentioned earlier, so many people are walking around are acidic. What these shakes are clinically proven to do within 72 hours is to bring your body's pH from an acidic state into an alkaline state. And that is why people are walking around feeling amazing. And they're shouting from the rooftops because their body is getting in balance and it's working the way it's supposed to. There's no chemicals. There's live enzymes. When you mix this with water, you only have to mix it with water. You don't have to go out and buy almond milk. You don't have to mix it with anything unless you choose to. When you mix it with water, there are live enzymes. It helps with key nutrient absorption. It's going to help burn fat, support lean muscle. It will reduce your cravings. One of the key things about getting alkaline, guys, is that you don't start to crave the bad stuff anymore. If you do, it's on a minimal level. So I was huge into sweets, and now I don't eat the entire brownie bowl when I see it. I don't want it. It's a different way of craving things when your body is alkaline. And of course, your energy does increase when you get the right nutrition and get your body in an alkaline state. So that's our isolate shakes. The second key product is our Cleanse for Life. And so with our Cleanse for Life, what we're doing is we're addressing the issue of toxicity right here. Once your body is alkaline through these shakes, you can cleanse it on a cellular level. So what we're doing is we're taking digestion out of the picture here so that your body can naturally detoxify itself. We are drinking Cleanse for Life, which is supporting our body's natural ability to remove toxins and impurities. It's still nourishing your body, so you're not really fasting. If anybody has fasted before, this is actually much easier than doing that because you're still getting nutrition and nourishment through this drink 4 times a day. It does have some calories in there. You are having certain wafers, Isosnack wafers that help maintain your blood sugar. And you get amazing Isodelight chocolates, which are green tea infused. And so you are getting nutrition throughout the day, but what it's doing is it's really giving your digestion system a break so that it can naturally detoxify, and then you're flushing toxins out through urine. So again, this is not a colon cleanse, so you don't need to be worried about that. So really, it contains over 100 nutrients, and it helps support your body's vital functions and immune system. So that is our Cleanse for Life. The third product that I want to highlight this evening is our Ionic Supreme. Ionic Supreme. What this is I call it the magic drink. Anybody you talk to will probably agree with you because what it does is it contains adaptogens. And if you know anything about adaptogens, what it does is it works in your body the way that it needs to. It will adapt to what your body needs. It will bring your body into balance. So any form of stress in your body, whether that is mental stress or physical stress, it will help eliminate in your body. Not completely, but it will bring it more into balance. It's going to help reduce inflammation in your body. So if you're somebody who has a health condition, people do very well with Ionic Supreme because it is a natural way to reduce inflammation in your body. And you can actually drink this several times a day if your body needs that. Athletes, I will say, do love Ionic Supreme because if you think about going, like today I went to the gym and I did a really hard workout on my arms. And what I do is I come home and I drink Ionic Supreme right after a workout because it does support inflammation in the body, but it also helps eliminate that stress so that I can go to the gym tomorrow and not quite be as sore as I would be without it. So those are the 3 key products. I want to very quickly, before I bring my guest on, explain to you how a typical shake day and a cleanse day works. If I'm talking to you in your first 30 days, and let's say your goal is weight loss, maybe a little bit, maybe a lot, and overall health, and maybe increase in energy. Of course, your enrolling sponsor, whoever invited you to the call, can help you figure out what your first 30 days are going to look like. But on the most part, you would replace 2 meals a day, your first 30 days. Many times for people, that is your breakfast and maybe your lunch. You're going to have a whole food snack sometime in the morning. We are not super picky about what you choose. We just say probably try to keep it clean, maybe not that bag of Doritos. Fruit, vegetables, yogurt, whatever that makes sense to you for that mid-morning snack. Your shake for the lunch, perhaps, a mid-afternoon snack, and then evening, have dinner with your family, and keep it reasonable. You're drinking a ton of water throughout the day, so that is very important in any whether you're with Isogenics or not, it's very important to get lots of water into your diet. That's a typical shake day. On a cleanse day, so most of your first 30 days are shake days. There are 4 days out of your month that are cleanse days, and on those days, you do drink the Cleanse for Life drink 4 times a day. You have the wafers that you are sucking on throughout the day to maintain the blood sugar, and then the Ice of Delight chocolates. You can choose to do a 24-hour cleanse or a 48-hour cleanse, and you can decide which makes most sense for you based on your goals or your schedule. That's basically it. It's very, very simple. Many times people ask me what happens after the first 30 days, and that's where you really have to evaluate where you are with your goals. If you have more weight to lose, a lot more weight to lose, then you probably want to continue on with 2 shakes a day. If you've pretty much gotten to where you want to go, or your goal is not really weight loss at that point, many people, in fact, most people maintain on 1 shake a day. They wake up, maybe have a shake for breakfast, and then they go about their day. And they might choose to cleanse 1 day out of the month. Maybe they don't cleanse at all during the month. It really doesn't matter. It's extremely flexible, which is what I love about this. I will tell you, I still have 2 shakes a day most days because it's convenient. I love not having to think about it. And personally, I love the taste. I really haven't met anyone who doesn't like the taste. So that is a typical shake day and a cleanse day. What I want to do at this point is I would love to turn the call over to my friend, Julie, who I actually introduced to this program a year ago. And Julie and I go way back to high school. And I am so excited to have her on the call tonight because when she initially was interested in Isogenics, it was for weight loss. And then I'll let you explain how it's kind of transitioned into a different direction. But Julie, welcome to the call.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I feel like I owe Elizabeth so much because if it weren't for seeing you sharing this on Facebook, I would have never found this solution. And that's exactly what it's been for us. And I say us because now it's a whole family affair. So, so I kind of watched you, Elizabeth, for about a year before I reached out and said anything to you. And the reason that I waited so long was because I had had a lot of success with another weight loss program. And I had lost a bunch of baby weight that I'd put on with my first pregnancy. I gained 50 pounds, I lost 30, became pregnant with my second daughter, gained 50 pounds, lost 30, and was stuck. So I did lose weight with a group setting where you count your calories and kind of go get weighed in every month, and I hit my goals, and then I found it really difficult to maintain. And so each week that I would go in and weigh in, I was getting more and more frustrated, having a hard time maintaining that weight loss. And I'd starve myself for a couple of days before I would have to go in and weigh myself on the scale so that I'd make my lifetime membership requirement, and it just became stressful for me. And I was curious, so I reached out. You sent me some information. I did a bunch of research because I am really, into clean eating, and like a lot of people, I thought that I had everything going right by eating clean and organic, and I couldn't understand why I couldn't keep the weight off. And at this point in time, my husband was also at the heaviest that he had ever been, and I was worried about his health. So we kind of talked it over, and with the same attitude that you had, well, this had better work, and if it doesn't work, I'll just send it back and get my money back. We dove into it, and we needed something that was going to be flexible for our schedules. We're both busy. He's a driver. He's on the road 5 days a week. I am a restaurant manager and work 60 hours a week and am around food that's tempting all the time. And I loved the flexibility of this and how simple it was to follow. And within the first 3 days, we both felt well, which is something you really can't explain to somebody until they've experienced it for themselves. So in addition to feeling well, after putting the shakes into our bodies for the first few days, we jumped into our first cleanse day. And like I said before, I was a restaurant manager, so I prepared my staff the day before. I'm going to be grumpy, I'm going to be hungry, I'm going to be mean, and you're going to want to avoid me. And I was pleasantly surprised when none of that happened, and I actually felt quite amazing. And I called my husband halfway through our first cleanse day and wanted to check in and see how he was feeling. And his response is something I'll never, ever forget. Verbatim, the words out of his mouth are you kidding me? I could do a chocolate diet all day, every day. This is amazing. We felt great. The energy had improved. We were sleeping better through the night. Our results were just incredible, beyond what I could have ever anticipated, way beyond what I expected, of course. My goal for the first 30 days was weight loss. I wanted to lose 10 pounds and feel good about myself in a bathing suit for our upcoming beach vacation. And in 30 days, I lost 15 pounds, and I went from a size 8 to a size 4, lost 5 inches off of my waist alone, and my husband was down 28 pounds. So it really was incredible. We did follow the program pretty closely in our first 30 days, but we went on a camping trip. We had some splurges here and there. There was maybe a piece of birthday cake or two, some pizza thrown in, and we still had these incredible results. So into my second month, I went into the maintenance mode. Like you said, I was having maybe 1 shake a day. Sometimes I would have 2 because they're delicious and I crave them at this point in time. I know that I'm getting the proper nutrition from them, so I went ahead and would use the convenience factor a lot of days and still have 2 shakes. And by the end of the second month, we discovered that we were pregnant with our third baby. This was really exciting news, and we were really happy, but we were also terrified because I had had a terrible pregnancy with my second daughter and had had a lot of complications with my kidneys, stones and stents and surgeries throughout my pregnancy, which ultimately put me on bed rest and early induction and a difficult recovery after she was born. Thank goodness everybody was okay and we came out of it all right. But one of the first steps that I took when I found out I was pregnant this most recent time with my third child was to go to my urologist, to go to my OB, and to go to my pediatrician. And I didn't want to come off of these products because I felt well and I felt strongly about the quality of nutrition that I was going to get through my pregnancy. So I took all of the nutrition labels to my doctors, and I was so blown away by the fact that the urologist, the OB, and the pediatrician said to keep doing what I was doing, that I was the healthiest that I'd ever been, that my numbers and my blood results looked fabulous, and that the baby looked terrific, to keep it up. So I did just that and continued on working 60 hours a week through my pregnancy, going to the gym, feeling pretty great for being pregnant and kind of really being able to enjoy my pregnancy after not feeling that way with my second daughter. I had to go back to the doctor at 30 weeks to have my labs redone. And this is when I was really blown away, because one of the things that is so unique about Isagenix is the fact that your body becomes alkaline. And I had the privilege of being able to see my own blood results across the span of 3 years from what my doctors had tracked from my previous pregnancy and into this pregnancy. And I was blown away that my alkalinity really had gone up. You could see from the doctor's test results that my alkalinity went from a 4.5 to a 7.5 during my current pregnancy. And it was just, it blew my mind. I couldn't have anticipated that at all. So Isagenix is not a cure. I can't claim that it cured, treated, or prevented any sort of an illness or issue, but for me, the results kind of spoke for themselves. Throughout the course of the pregnancy, I gained weight at a very healthy rate. I craved healthier options. I craved the shakes. I still crave the shakes. I love them. They're delicious. I started using the Rejuvenity skincare line and was blown away that I had clear skin through my pregnancy, which is something I didn't experience with my previous 2 pregnancies at all. And like I worked out. I worked out up until delivery. I ran a 5K at 39 weeks pregnant, and people thought I was insane, but I felt great. And so I was able to do that and ultimately had a smooth and easy delivery and delivered a big, beautiful, healthy baby boy. And now that he is 8 weeks old, I'm continuing to use the products. I love the shakes and the bars and the Replenish and the fruits and the greens, and I use everything that I'm able to use. And in 8 weeks, I've dropped nearly all of my baby weight. I've dropped what took me 8 months in my previous pregnancies to do. And this has ultimately allowed me to be healthy. One of the things that was most important to me in this journey and why I chose to get healthy and be healthy at this stage in my life is because I have two beautiful little girls who are 4 and 2, and I want to be their role model. I want to be somebody that they can look up to and that they don't have to watch me struggle with body image issues. I love my mother dearly, but I watched her struggle growing up to maintain her weight and to lose weight, and I didn't want that for my kids. It's so important to me that they're able to see me be healthy and that I can teach them to be healthy as well. And I want to be able to play with them. I don't want to be a parent that has to watch from a distance. I want to be able to be the parent who can get down and roll around on the floor with them and be able to get back up with ease. I want to be alive, to take part in their lives, and I don't want them to lose their parents at young ages. So that's why it's so important that I'm healthy. The other thing that I absolutely love about Isogenics is that I'm able to share this with my entire family. My kids love the shakes. They ask for them every day, and I feel good about giving them this awesome nutrition that their doctors have approved. The kids' vitamins are incredible. I love to give them those. They ask for them. And the baby, my 8-week-old chunky monkey, is growing perfectly. He's off the charts, just super healthy and happy and easygoing, and we're just incredibly fortunate to have this in our lives. I love that it's quick and that it's simple, and with our chaotic lives and juggling 3 kids right now, I can make sure that everybody's getting the proper nutrition, even if I'm sleep deprived and a little bit crazy at times. So it's been just such a huge thing to have in our lives, and we're so grateful for it. And I'm so grateful to you for sharing it with us. So thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Oh my goodness, thank you for sharing that. I love your story, and I'm pretty sure everyone else loved hearing it because it really goes through the transition of you looking for weight loss and then being able to enjoy these products safely through your pregnancy, and now while you have, you know, your young boy and you're nursing. And so I love that the message that it's sending is that this is just food. It's just food. It's nothing that you can't introduce to your families, to your kids, to, you know, all the way from age 1 to age 100. This really gives solutions for everyone. So many people do think it's for weight loss. It's really for health. It's for nutrition. And as Julie, you know, so eloquently said, this is really allowing your body to just live and operate the way that it's supposed to. So thank you for sharing that. And, you know, how I want to end tonight is that I really do invite you to go back to the person who invited you to this call. This is a very high level overview of how the products work, but you definitely want to go back to that person and ask them to fill in the details for you, because we do want to encourage you to give it a try if this makes sense for you. I will go ahead and let you know that because we know people who use these products love it, we do like to show you how you can get your products paid for and how simple it is. So the way that I like to look at this is that I don't want to do this by myself. I don't want to get healthy by myself. And if you're looking for a weight loss option, you don't want to get skinny by yourself. You want to do it with friends. And so we always say, if it makes sense for you, find a couple of people who want to do it with you. You can get your products basically half off at that point, and then help them find a couple of people, and then there you go, you got your products and you actually profited at the same time. So if that is of interest to you, we at least invite you to get your products paid for and eat for free for the rest of your life. Julie and I haven't paid for our groceries in months and months and months. And so if that is of interest to you, or Isogenics in general, this makes sense for you, go back to the person who invited you to this call and go ahead and get that chat going. So thank you, Julie, for this evening, for sharing your story. And thank you guys for joining tonight. And we wish you a beautiful week. Stay safe.